4 years ago, I stood on this stage and announced my candidacy for the office of mayor. With your support and hard work, I've had the honor and the privilege of serving in that position since 2007. Tonight, I ask for your support once again as I begin my re-election campaign for my third term as mayor. As I end my second term as mayor of our town, I reflect back on the last 3.5 years of my administration. In 2007, I pledged change and to do my very best to foster a spirit of teamwork, cooperation, working together with all town officials, and to achieve financial stability and to move Johnston in a positive direction. We have been very successful in breaking from the past and building for our future. I am very proud of our accomplishments during the last 3.5 years, but I'm particularly proud of the teamwork that has led us to these accomplishments. Working together with the town council, who I call my Super Bowl team because they do a great job, we've begun to improve our infrastructure by upgrading our sewer system, securing $1.5 million from Island Resource Recovery and other funding to build a new fire station in the west end of town. We also begun to construct our new library that was voted and approved by the voters the first time in Johnston's history. Before any of their taxpayers' money was spent, they were able to vote on it. We also constructed the Johnston soccer complex at no cost to the taxpayers, thanks to donations from local construction companies volunteering their time and experience, and of course the Johnston Youth Soccer League, who've done a tremendous job for us. The new Johnston School Department Facilities building is currently being constructed in the industrial park, built at no cost to the taxpayers from donations from Island Resource Recovery. Once again, no more paying rent for that building. We'll finally have our own. And finally, we have future plans to renovate the current library, which will become the new home of the Johnston Municipal Court. Once again, it's better to own than it is to rent. We won't be paying any more rent. Through effective leadership, we established a sound economic development plan to reduce the tax burden on residents, which has already begun to produce revenue for the town. Business leaders have or are currently investing over $500 million in our town. Companies such as FM Global built their new headquarters in Johnston and is planning to add 400 additional workers besides the 800 they already have. And I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, FM Global they were going to Route 128. But working with this Johnston Town Council, we worked together and we got them to stay. Also, other companies like A. Dewey Pyle, FedEx, Ballard Mac Truck, D'Amber Construction. There's a new medical building being built on Hartford Avenue. Dr. Diamante, he's here with his family. Doctor, where are you? Thank you very much for having faith in this team. A new Walgreens, a Sleepy's, a new, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, finally, when I go to all the schools, the children say, when are we going to get a Taco Bell? Well, we're getting one on Apple Avenue. A new Taco Bell. Of course, an Aspen Dental and a new BJ. Now, the old BJs, I had the pleasure of talking with Tony Thomas today, who was one of the managing partners who owned the old BJs. And I promised I wouldn't tell, but he's got some very innovative, exciting plans for that building, and it will be developed, and will bring more business into the town. Finally, one of the really difficult, important goals, if you will, that we wanted to get across the finish line, when I took office, I was concerned about the Stewart's Plaza. It had been vacant for 18 years. Finally, this property is going to be developed, and it's going to be developed with a hotel, a couple of banks, a couple of restaurants, and retail space. And the developer is here with us this evening, and I would once again want to obviously introduce him, but I want to thank him for his confidence in our town, in our administration. Jeff Salatin, where are you? Jeff. We discussed the teamwork portion of, obviously, my administration with the elected officials. However, if it wasn't for the town workers that we employ, our decisions and ideas would not get carried out. I'm honored to work with and extremely proud of the men and women who see to it that our town operates in a very efficient manner on a daily basis. Due to budget cuts and the lack of funding to replace retiring workers, these men and women find themselves working harder than ever. And I want you to know how much that I appreciate their dedication to the citizens of this town. So a round of applause for those employees. I also want to thank my chief of staff who keeps hearing from me. We're doing more and more with less and less. And every time I go in his office, I know we're doing more and more with less and less. But he's done a great job for us. As a community, we've successfully faced many challenges during the 3.5 years of being in office. Our success has become the result of difficult decisions and strong fiscal management. We faced those challenges with great resolve, and I am proud to say that we restored fiscal stability in the town of Johnston. Since I took office in 2007, the state of Rhode Island has cut us $9.1 million from the town of Johnston. Each year, through stringent fiscal management, we have faced these cuts and still operated with a slight surplus. Because of our fiscal management, the town's bond rating is the highest it's ever been. They started rating the towns in 1958. We are an A-, and we just got notified this week that we are remaining an A- through Moody's and Standard & Poor's, and I think that's great for the town. The last 3.5 years have been very challenging for our country, our state, and our town. Although as a community, we have been very successful in restoring financial stability to our town. We must continue to be diligent, for the road ahead also presents us with difficult challenges. I've listed some of the accomplishments here this evening, but there is much more work to be done. That's why I ask for your continued support as we continue to work together to break from the past and build for the future.